They quite accurate.
Okay, we're gonna call the meeting to order. Monroe County Industrial Development Corporation, March 19th, 2005. This meeting is called to order. I need approval of the February 13th minutes. Meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? No. Okay. Is Kevin here?
No.
No, he's not here today? Okay, no action needed then for him. Are
This
you,
is not Greg.
I'm Alex, filling in.
he looks like him a little bit, just a little bit. Alex, you wanna give us the financial report today?
Sure. So just going through the financials at a high level. Cash is comprised of just the operating checking. We have a little under 189,000. Savings 120,000. There's in the gain loan account about 96,000, and then we have about 742,000 in the microloan account used for loans and related expenses. And then in our investments, we currently hold 10 treasury securities. Those have a maturity value of about 4.29 million. In February, we recognized 18,000 in accrued interest and market value adjustments during the month. And then we have maturities that stagger out generally every few months, but through October 2026. And then microloans, during February, we gave 6 new loans totaling 265,000. We received 34,000 of principal on those and 7,000 of interest. For the RLF loans, we received 12,000 of principal and 2.6 thousand of interest payments. And then on the gain loans, we have received about 4,000 of principal and 139 of interest during the month. And then everything else on the balance sheet is pretty well aligned with expectations and budget. On the summary statement of activities, the microloan grant income is a little down from budget just because we didn't submit a voucher to ARPA in February. So that's for any loans given out through January and then to date, which we're submitting in March. And then with the economic development and incentive expense, we're a little behind budget, but more of that is just anticipating the timing of those items. It's the total year's budget is spread over 12 months, so some items haven't come in yet, but that'll even out and come closer to the total budget as the year goes on. Bad debt, we have an allowance on our microloans of 15% for the total balance. So as we give out more loans, microloan bad debt allowance goes up, and then we also have a 50% reserve on one of our RLF loans, the Roxera borrower, who's a few months behind. I know we're working with them to get that payment, but a reserve was deemed necessary. And then overall, the remaining items are pretty well aligned with expectations.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
So how's the actual microloan quality of portfolios going to?
Yes,
I think we're ahead.
we have a
Yeah,
lot less, I think we only have two that have actually fully defaulted, which I think is much less.
We're way ahead of what we
Yeah.
projected.
But
Are you replacing Grant?
I'm filling in when he can't make it, so you'll probably see me
He's
here and
behind
there.
the scenes.
Yeah, I'm the muscle.
Yeah.
so this probably shouldn't be a question for you, but I'll just when you look at our balance sheet, right, with our huge liquidity is the way I think of it.
Yep.
Relative to our mission, I guess, is the way I think of it. don't you think, well, again, this shouldn't be for you, this should be for everybody. We should be getting those dollars out there somehow, as opposed to earning interest on them in a bank, right?
Well, we're
The
actively,
return on your treasuries has been strong. I think we've been at almost 5%. So I think you're at least putting those to good use. You can't get too aggressive with it, obviously, but.
But I think
Pretty
on our
Comparing it
mission,
to our mission.
Yeah.
to get the money into the community and into
Sure,
business
well,
development.
in terms of, programs that, we're interested, in funding, if you recall, we just went, through, somewhat of a realignment, and the staff is, gonna come back to us with, greater recommendations for that, and I would guess a plan, this might be a question for Anna, in terms of, how we see, spending this money and getting it out, in a new way. A lot of the old stuff that we used to fund, is sort of off of our radar now.
Why is that?
Well, I don't know, some of it is that, we're moving on to something a little different now. So I think in the coming months or so, we'll possibly be getting more folks to come forward. We'll have our staff out in the community, and we need to get the money out.
I'm with you.
I am for that.
We agree.
And if the
Yeah.
answer is the old way worked better, let's go back to the old way.
Well, I don't think the old way worked. I mean, we're just beyond that now.
Why?
Anna, you want to speak to that a little bit?
Sure. I think to sum that up, we've talked about MCIDC modernization, taking a new and sort of fresh approach to the way that we do business in the community, the way that we approach economic development. Everybody knows about what's going on in Washington and federal agencies being impacted by big decisions. And the SBA is not immune to, I think, some of those shifts. It's been, since MCIDC has been around, it's been challenging historically to deal with the SBA. You know, decisions take a long time. Our staff is very organized and fastidious in dealing with the SBA. I think that's only going to become more challenging to try to get decisions out of the SBA and approvals. I don't think the 504 program is going to go anywhere because it is a self-funded program essentially. It's possible 7A might go away as we've all discussed, but that's not something MCIDC has its hands in. So all that's to say that when it comes to our revolving loan fund and our microloan fund, those are going to be the most flexible tools that we have to support the needs of small businesses in Monroe County and the surrounding area and Greater Rochester
And I think,
in the near term.
not to interrupt her, but I think with the SBA possibly, reducing the 7A, that's an opportunity for us with our revolving loan fund to step up and help the community and those companies that counted on 7A stuff that may no longer be able
That's
to get it.
exactly right. That's exactly right. So thanks for saying that because it gives us even more of a reason to get out there, promote our products, establish new and diverse relationships with the small business community and sort of the entrepreneurial ecosystem, for lack of a better term. And in 2026 is when the ARPA funds have to be expended. So after 2026,
Yeah, we gotta focus on that so we use all that we can
correct.
while we have that money.
Yeah, and credit to staff for really cranking the microloan program and getting it out there and making sure that we have new applications coming in. But it increases, all the challenges that are happening right now increase the importance of our mission and the role that we have to play locally in the economic development space.
I was just thinking, as far as like piggybacking on things that are already in motion here. So for example, like this Bull's Head development area, like all the talk of what they want to do, maybe us having like a targeted loan program that says you can do leasehold up to 50,000. It's kind of like the microloan program, but maybe we market it a certain way. If you're starting a business or renovating something in this area, we'll, attractive financing, we'll take a second lien position in behind your bank, so they can maybe renovate or speed the improvement of the area
That's
faster.
a really good idea. We've met with some of the folks involved in the Bull's Head redevelopment, and we think of our revolving loan fund as a flexible tool that we can use, and we've talked here at this table about establishing some parameters around leveraging the revolving loan fund, but something like what you're suggesting could be even more compelling.
It's like a niche thing, like we pick an area and we say, all right, we really wanna help, this is whatever the county wants to promote,
Right, that's a great idea.
And then I was also thinking, we're basically like a bank, right? What do we have a certain level of capital levels we have to have? Because we do have a lot of liquidity, right? We don't have to.
Right now, our capital's 90-something%,
That's
compared to your bank goes 10.
I know. I'm just saying, there's no something in the rules that say we can't.
Right.
Listen,
Right, we have a
I
great
have no
deal of
doubt that this
flexibility
money will
here.
get out, up under the climate that we're in now.
We're government, we're nonprofit, we are
Just up
not,
under the current climate that we're in now in this country, this money is gonna get out. And it's gonna get out in a fast way, to where we're not gonna have
and
it.
if you think back to 2020, after COVID first hit, we as MCIDC came out in front of the federal government, the state government, anywhere with we did a 0% small business loan, and that ended up converting into grants using the CARES Act funding. So this organization historically has a reputation for being that vehicle in the community to help in challenging times.
Can I just ask a question? And this may make me sound naive, but do we need to be concerned about competing with banks? Like, I don't wanna, is that something we need to be cognizant of?
No.
I don't think
not
so.
at all.
I
That's a
think
good thing.
Ryan put it perfect. I mean, the bank can get the first position and we'll take the second position on the right deals.
Banks actually like it because there's more capital.
Exactly.
Borrower.
It gives the
Yeah,
customer or
Yes.
company more chance to
we
be
have that
successful.
flexibility.
And-
So like a model like the SBA 504 without the SBA, is that?
Well, in our revolving loan fund now, most of those we have second positions, we don't have first positions.
Right.
So we're stepping in where maybe it was a great idea and it's great for the community for that business to exist. So we've stepped in a second position because we think it's gonna work, knowing that if it craters, we're not gonna get our money back.
Well, we should also tell Barry, we should also tell Barry, don't accept any more bonds either. Because this is making us bring in money, we can't get it out. I mean, that's
Logic, that's
well,
logical.
listen here, this is somewhat
That is
of
logical.
what I'm hearing. I mean, if the concern of the board is that we're not getting this money out,
Right.
you understand, then we should stop taking it in.
No, the
Also,
concern, my concern
Yeah.
is, we're not, when I look at our balance sheet, we've got
Yes.
5 million of
We
liquidity.
can
Right.
be
My
flexible.
concern is that we're not fulfilling the goal, which is to make loans to encourage and increase employment. Isn't that what we're supposed to be
Yeah,
doing?
yeah. And later on the agenda, we're gonna talk about that
Yeah.
because we did modify the mission statement a little bit, and hopefully, that language and wording, will somewhat answer some of our questions here.
Yeah, good. I've been harping on this for a while, so I'll
Yeah.
shut up.
No, we do have to get it out. If I could find a way to get some of that money to come to me, I would. I don't qualify for it.
Maybe some more road shows with banks too.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think, and I was gonna suggest this to Tony, I know at our shop, everybody is really annoyed with Pursuit. Now is a perfect time for us to be there and get our face in front of all the lenders, Tony, because everybody is annoyed with Pursuit right now. And perfect opportunity for us to pick up more guys that maybe had previously sent stuff to Pursuit. Guys and gals.
Yeah, we should just have a regular schedule. We're gonna go
And I don't know how
This
you
is
guys
the
are
face that they
feeling.
want
I don't
to
know how
see.
anybody else is feeling at their banks, but that's what we've experienced
Yeah,
lately.
we have done some of those presentations and we have more we're waiting to schedule. We're, you know, we just redid the grades and stuff, and that's always part of the presentation, so we kind of held off a little to get that stuff in place, and then we can.
That's good information though, and it kind of lights a fire under us to get going with rolling out, an outreach plan. Are there details that you could share about what's going on with Pursuit, what happened to make them?
They're just not following up on stuff.
Oh, okay.
Just not following up, taking forever. I know we've had several loans that, the lenders worked with Pursuit on that are over a year old that haven't been funded yet.
Wow, okay.
It's a question, do they like pay you, do they pay like referral fees or anything?
Not us, I don't know if anybody else is getting that, we're not getting that.
That's one way to get the money out.
That's good.
I wasn't sure, I thought I might have heard that once, but.
No, don't bring another ideal of, creating revenue. We're having a tough time getting the money out. Can we move forward? Okay, the audit committee, met, last Wednesday, and, we reviewed the, financial audit and the single audit, and, we recommend the board, to accept this as, presented. But we got John Rinkowitz here, and John is gonna give us a brief overview on the 2024 financial audit. John?
Yep, so I met with the audit committee last week. As mentioned, I think we had a good conversation, and I'm just gonna kind of touch on some of the highlights from our discussion and the audit. And there are a couple reports there. You've got financial statements, a management letter, letter communication, and a single audit. The single audit being the federal dollars, the ARPA money. On the financial statements, we have a clean audit opinion, so no modifications. Also, it's no material weaknesses or significant deficiencies, so that's exactly where you want to be. In fact, we got a management letter where we talk about internal controls, and we have no recommendations for improvement from last year or this year, so doing a very good job there. Also, letter of communication talks about no difficulty in getting through the audit, no material audit adjustments, so very good as far as that goes. As far as the financials go, just some highlights. Really, the microloan program is really the big item this year. Issued about $1.9 million worth of new loans and generated $2.1 million worth of grant revenue. Okay, and you're continuing to evaluate the collections and work with, you know, your estimating and allowance. You continue as those loans develop to evaluate how collections go. We did issue a single audit report on those funds, the ARPA funds, and had no findings in that report. So that's perfect, exactly where you want to be. We know that those ARPA funds, there's a lot of scrutiny over that, so exactly where you want to be with that. Just a couple other items. The U.S. Treasuries, you have some money in there. Income was about $300,000 in interest this past year, so those are doing very well. You no longer have your investment in Trillium that was written off last year, so the last year's investment number is kind of impacted by that, but that's not going to hold up the audit anymore. It is there, but you did write that off last year. Overall, your net position increased about $1.6 million to $9 million. Keeping in mind, $3.5 million of that is your revolving loan program receivables, so not necessarily available to fund projects and that kind of thing. But ended up in good financial condition, doing well as far as that goes. I did want to point out, we are still waiting for bond information to complete one footnote in the report, so that's why you're seeing a draft of it. The expectation is that we'll be getting those numbers soon, but they won't impact any of the numbers in the statements themselves. So that's kind of an overview. Are there any questions on the statements or the information I provided?
So we're good, right? Any questions for John? If not, we need a motion to accept the 2024 financial audit as presented and pending the final bond report.
Okay. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Alright. Thank you, John, appreciate you. Jeff, Financial Committee report?
The Finance Committee met last week to review policies, its charter, assets, investments, and the fee schedule. The committee recommends the full board adopt the updated fee schedule, which includes the addition of a commitment fee to the revolving loan fund program. Do I need a motion?
What's the amount of the commitment fee that you're suggesting?
Robin?
What was that?
What did we increase the commitment fee to on the?
Up to, it was strategically worded as up to 1%.
Up to 1%, knowing that like we could negotiate or on a case by case basis could make accommodations.
So we would say it's 1% and then they would have to, if they push back, or is it, how do we disclose that, like a term sheet to them or somehow, or we pick it case by case maybe?
Well, and it goes along with the rate is always, we don't have a set rate either.
Yeah.
It's always,
Negotiable.
yeah.
Good. That's good.
Do we need a motion for that, or?
Yeah.
I believe we do, right?
Yeah, we need a motion to,
And we also, Anna and Allison are gonna review the employee handbook update that, I think was part of the, package, right?
Page 43.
We're gonna do one motion for everything, or?
there's two motions.
Got two motions.
Okay.
We got two motions. A motion to approve the,
Yeah, that's why I wanted to do the fee schedule now.
yeah,
And then one more is the.
we
And
need
I
a
can
motion
talk
to readopt the fee schedule with changes to the
With the
revolving
changes.
loan fund.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Alright. Are we gonna have a presentation on the employee
Yeah,
handbook?
the employee handbook.
Thank you. I can kick it off and then you can talk about the technicalities of it. And as you all know, MCIDC and COMITA mirror our human resources policies after those that are offered to Monroe County employees through Monroe County Human Resources. And we determined this past year that the county offers retiree health insurance program that we as MCIDC do not. So we propose including this new policy. It's essentially offering employees who have at least 15 years of continuous service to MCIDC who are retiring have the option to qualify for health insurance with MCIDC purchasing or paying for a portion of that. Allison, anything to add there that I
So mostly
not
this
capture.
is, I mean, if you remember, MCIDC didn't really have employees a couple of years ago. We sort of separated ourselves from COMITA, and now MCIDC actually has 5 employees. So we never really had a retirement policy at all. So this is offering retirement. We've never had a retiree from MCIDC. We don't know that we will anytime soon, but this is here. We have a retirement policy now. We try to mirror the county. So this was one thing that we did not have that they did. So this is more of a little bit of an oversight in correcting that than anything.
Any questions? So we need a motion to approve the updated policy to the employee handbook as presented.
I'll make it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Alright. I forgot to acknowledge Barry and Brittany. They're on the screen there.
I see.
Good afternoon.
We'll be coming to you in a minute, Barry.
Ready.
Governance Committee, Zach?
Yeah, the governance committee met and reviewed all the policies and recommends that the full board adopt the policies with no changes. The committee did take some time to update the current mission statement, which is in the board packet, and is recommending a minor change to the bylaws. So, Barry, do you wanna talk about the bylaw change? It's just changing the annual meeting date, but.
Sure. It's more of just a technical change in our bylaws. Historically, we had the annual meeting date set for December. So that was a restriction in our bylaws that we had to have the annual meeting in December. We didn't always meet that monthly, or that annual meeting in December. So we just changed the language to provide flexibility to allow us to have the annual meeting, once a year, in the month of our choosing. So it's just to provide more flexibility and more of a clean up technical change.
So we need a motion to, readopt the bylaws with the changes, to the annual meeting date.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so it's gonna be amended on this day right here, okay? We wanna review the proposed mission statement and, performance measure report. Anna, could you comment on the changes to the mission statement? And, I wish Phil was here because that could answer some of, his earlier questions in terms of, getting money out. We changed the mission slightly, to reflect, the times that we're in now and how we, can build strategies around, getting this money out in a new way.
Thank you, Hanif.
All right.
MCIDC, as you all are aware, has been around for decades, longer than Comida, longer than many other peer entities in the state of New York, in terms of being a local development corporation, a quasi-governmental lending institution. I don't know how long our existing mission statement has been the same, but it's certainly been for decades. We're over 50 years old, and I don't think our mission statement is over 50 years old, but it's probably close to that. But our mission and our goals in meeting the needs of area employers and the workforce have shifted. They've evolved in recent years, but they've shifted dramatically in the very, very recent, 5-year period. I mentioned earlier about COVID. We talked a lot today about the microloan program. We're working with micro enterprises. We are very focused on workforce development programs, and we have historically been a great partner to local nonprofit organizations that are running innovative programs to meet the needs of area employers and training and upskilling workforce. So we felt that it was time to dust off our old mission statement and make a change. This is also in keeping with calls to action from the authority's budget office in Albany. They often look at public authorities like MCIDC and Comida, making sure that the work that we're doing is always in keeping with our mission statement very closely. So a good example is Comida changed its mission statement recently to include a reference to housing, because Comida undertakes certain housing projects, and that historically wasn't in Comida's mission statement. So in updating and revising the mission statement, we wanted to make sure we're touching upon workforce development and micro lending. So the committee met last week to go over some options, and we came up with a new mission statement, and hoping that you're all okay with it, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Without further ado, drum roll please, I'll just read it. The Monroe County Industrial Development Corporation fosters economic growth and opportunity by providing access to capital, including micro-lending, to support small businesses, entrepreneurs, established employers, and not-for-profit organizations. Through strategic investments in workforce development and business expansion, MCIDC promotes job creation, retention, and the long-term prosperity of Monroe County and the greater Rochester region. So this kind of wraps its arms around all of the work that we do in various ways, and goes above and beyond the old dusty mission statement.
What's the old statement again? Do you have it?
It's in your board packet, so the current is not italic.
Okay.
It's pretty boring. The mission is to provide resources to qualified for-profit businesses and not-for-profit organizations that result in the retention and creation of jobs and employment opportunities in Monroe County and its surrounding counties. Straightforward, a little bit boring.
Yeah.
We're
And
kicking
Phil, that's
it
why
up
we
a
couldn't
notch.
get the money out, so.
Nice.
I think the new mission statement-
I like the second one.
Thank you, thank you.
I think the new mission statement should do it for us.
Yeah,
That's all
it's
we
good.
Yeah.
So we need a motion to adopt, well, let me see, the performance measure report, is that to be discussed?
Yes,
or
that's
looked at?
in the page right after the mission statement is our performance measurement report, which we review annually. You can see here that total number of projects dipped, of course, during those COVID years quite a bit, and it's ticked back up, where in 2024, we superseded the project volume of 2019, the pre-COVID year. And as I recall, I think 2019 was a pretty strong year in terms of what was going on in the local business community and investments and project activity. So you can see here that our 2024 numbers covering total company investments, over $17 million in company investments facilitated by MCIDC alone, jobs, over 100 new jobs attached to those projects. Smaller job figure in 2024 than what was projected in 2019, but that's a function of the varying economic, the dynamics of the economic climate. And here under accountability, integrity, and transparency, you can see there are various measures that we're required to report up to the authority's budget office, including annual reporting, board acknowledgement of fiduciary duties, board member training, public hearing notices. So this is basic housekeeping as required by the authority's budget office. You can see that we are checking all of those boxes to the best of our ability. Are there any questions about the information you see reflected here on this page? Okay.
If not, we will accept a motion to adopt the updated mission statement and approve the performance measure report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? All right, that carries. Barry, you're on here for, not recommending any changes to policies this year.
Correct, yeah. Through the Finance and Governance Committee, we reviewed the existing policies, and we're not recommending any changes at this time. So we'll need a resolution to re-adopt each of the policies, but you can do it in one resolution to approve them all, if the board would be willing to consider that.
Yeah, motion to re-adopt the policies for the Audit, Finance, and Governance Committees with no changes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Okay, that carries. The board evaluation summary is, no action needed, but this summary is in the board packet, so you all make sure that you fill those out and get them back to Robin.
And we'll send out an updated one when we get everybody's back.
And there's no action needed on the parish report, but, you got an update that you want to?
Oh, yes, just very quickly, we're targeting that April 1st deadline. Again, our friends in Albany, the authority's budget office, require a great deal of information to be submitted by April 1st, and Robin and Allison and the whole team here are working very hard behind the scenes to get that all packaged together and submitted by April 1. So we'll keep you posted. Wish us luck.
Good luck.
Thank you.
That's your favorite time of year, right?
Robin loves
He
March.
hates the month of March.
Really, it should be a cut and paste, but you guys say you can't do that, so.
No.
I can see the tediousness in it, but, that's why they pay you the big bucks, so, you know.
I guess as a taxpayer, I'm okay with it because, you know, you wanna make sure you're holding your public authorities accountable,
Right.
but we're the ones being held accountable, so it's sort of annoying. We'll live with it.
I feel the same way about the fast and
Here,
Part of me feels okay with
Right.
it, but part of me is like, this is way too slow
yeah,
and way too much
Right,
information needed to
right.
be provided.
So we need a motion to go into executive session. We're gonna discuss a loan.
Motion?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Tony and Craig, we're going to, talk about the 6-day
You want to approve it with what covenant? I couldn't hear. Okay. Yeah, you can approve the loan with the approval of an additional covenant, and um, you know, he will obviously have to agree to it as well, but you could approve it with that requirement. Yeah, a debt service, that sounds like coverage.
Motion to approve $156,000 SBA 504 commercial mortgage for the purpose of purchasing a building in Batavia, New York, and submit to the SBA, I gotta rewrite that a little bit, including a covenant to limit distributions.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions?
Jeff abstains.
Okay. All in favor, aye, okay. Other business, equipment, Monroe rebate program. This is a new program, isn't it?
Thank you, Hanif. Yes, you may recall, we discussed in recent meetings.
Is this one of the ways to get the money out?
We're modernizing it used to be the Great Rebate Program. There was some additional red tape around those programs that we stripped away and streamlined. We also put some limitations on, number of times you can come back to MCIDC for the equipment rebate program. We are working on some marketing materials, and we're gonna be announcing this program. We've been doing more of a soft launch as we meet with businesses, recently. And Small Business Week is coming up as recognized by the SBA, first week of May. So we're planning some activities around that in concert with the County Executive's Office, and probably gonna roll out the Equip Monroe rebate program in a more formal way during Small Business Week. And we're hoping to coordinate, not necessarily a small business resource fair, but office hours here in our offices, where we invite businesses, we open our doors to businesses to come and meet with us, talk through some of our programs. And we're working with with a couple of different community organizations on some outreach activities during Small Business Week, as well as recognizing a couple of local small businesses that our team nominated for statewide recognition, some previous 504 loan recipients. Hedonist Chocolates and Test Staffing were the two businesses that we had nominated, so we hope to recognize them during Small Business Week. So you'll be hearing from us about that. And those are the only items that I wanted to share.
Any questions? When is this event gonna take place?
We're not doing a one-off event this year, and we're still working with the County Executive's Office to plan. He's probably gonna do a proclamation proclaiming it Small Business Week, and we're either gonna do two separate events or one small event.
That's in May,
where
right?
we recognize Hedonist and Test Staffing, and then we're gonna do some office hours with our staff to promote some of our programs and provide technical assistance.
Okay, we got through that. Is there any more questions? If not, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion, second.
All in favor?
Thank you all. Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I say Chris, I wasn't last.
58.
Lacrosse season?
Yeah.
Ramping up or
Are you doing town?
Did I tell you that?
No, I didn't know you were coaching. That's fun. So I'll see you at Cinco de Laxo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss a couple of them, because we've got research stuff.
You can leave it.
I'll be there,
Nice.
fully in the.
Your daughter's
See you
what,
next
13?
time. Thank you for your
I
time
was just talking to
today.
her dad about this, I have no idea, she's in first grade.
First grade, so mine's in fourth. Fourth is a 33.
So that's
36.
36, we said fourth grade?
Fourth grade.
Oh, 36.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 36.
She's gonna be amazing when she's.
I don't know about that, no, I don't know if she's gonna keep playing, she's like, I don't know, like, you're 6, it's fine, you don't care if you, but
That is fine.
for now, you've committed, so we're gonna finish out at least through the spring.
Oh, you'll be at Monster Lacrosse soon.
No, I don't think so. Everyone says that. I don't know. She likes everything. She does cheer. She does this. She does skiing. She's gonna do breaking.
How do you guys have time to work?
Don't. My son's doing t-ball. I'm also coaching that, which is gonna flip.
I'm thinking ahead to like when I'm
It's impossible.
gonna be.
You just don't think about
Have a
anything else.
flexible second?
You just put your head down
Your
and
whole
get
life
through
is
it.
just logistics.